My name is Jaden, and this is Fantasy Tomorrow. We are here for week 7. We have made it through almost half of the season. I don't know whether to be sad or happy about that. As always, this is our resident expert, Caleb, who is here to give you not only game-winning, but league-winning information every week. So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to get a W. I personally would want to. As we go into the midseason, it's obvious that some of us need a little more help navigating through fantasy football, compared to others, like me personally. So Caleb's here to navigate us through the juggle that we like to call fantasy football. Last week he made some really good calls with Kirk Cousins as a good streaming option, and Travis Fulgham, who continues to amaze us with great weeks. So with that being said, let's just go on ahead and see what kind of information he has for us going into week 7. So Caleb, who is on a bye this week?
So the Colts, Dolphins, Vikings, and Ravens all have bye week. So there's definitely some players there that are very important in fantasy football that you'll have to replace in your lineups.
As you can tell, it's definitely a Monday for the both of us, but we're getting you the information as fast as we can. So now that we know who has bye weeks, who are some good quarterback streaming options to pick up? Because obviously some people are probably going to need some pickups since Lamar Jackson is on bye week.
Yeah, definitely. Have to replace him. Would need to replace Ryan Fitzpatrick. Maybe you've been playing him a lot. But there's some good streaming options. My favorite streaming option for this week is Justin Herbert for the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, he's coming off of a bye week, so he didn't play last week. But in the weeks leading up to last week, he's been playing really well. He's looked absolutely great. And he's going up against a very exploitable Jaguars defense. I think that Justin Herbert is going to do amazing. Like I said, he's my favorite streaming quarterback option for this week. Now, the next two guys I'm going to mention are a little bit more out there, a little bit more desperate ads if you really need somebody, or maybe you're in a deeper league or a 2-quarterback league. But I like Kyle Allen this week. He plays for the Washington football team. And he wasn't terrible this past week, and I think he'll do decent as long as he's the one that's starting, unless the football team makes a change there. But I think he'll do good in Week 6. He's playing against the Cowboys. We all know how terrible the Cowboys' pass defense is. They can definitely be exploited. So I think Kyle Allen could be a good play if you're desperate. Then also Andy Dalton. Now, he's taken over the role of a starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And he really just has upside in that he has amazing weapons surrounding him in that offense. People like Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, they're all really great players. And when you have playmakers like that surrounding you, you're in a perfect spot to do good things. So Dalton could prove useful if you're desperate.
So now that we have our QBs, are there any RVs that have an upside that you are considering good streaming options for Week 7?
Yeah, there's some good ones. So Justin Jackson for the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, he's coming off bye week, and I think I said this last week. He's definitely someone worthy that you need to being picked up and having on your bench. He could even be a good flex play for this week. And he should be well rested. He's going up against the Jaguars defense, which is very exploitable. I think he'll have a really good game. And I think he's actually getting the most touches out of the backfield right now, with Austin Eckler being still hurt and banged up. And also J.D. McKissick for the Washington football team. I think he's somebody who should be picked up as well in just about every league. He has some solid flex upside, especially as bye weeks hurt. He starts to get really thin at the running back position, but J.D. McKissick is seeing a solid amount of work in Washington's backfield. He's catching plenty of passes, which of course is good for us if we're in a half PPR or PPR league, so he's worthy of a stream as well. Then a couple of players that you should pick up just to have on your bench. One is Jeremy McNichols for the Tennessee Titans. He's going to be an absolute league winner if Derrick Henry were to get hurt. So just stash him on your bench. You probably won't regret it, especially if Henry gets hurt. And then also Giovanni Bernard, kind of for the same reason. If Joe Mixon were to get injured, then Bernard would take over as the lead back for the Cincinnati Bengals, and he'd probably do pretty well. He had a rushing touchdown this last week, and I think Bernard has the talent to produce well if Mixon were to go down with injury. Now, one really deep sleeper that if you're in a deep league you should really take a look at is La'Mical Perine. Now, he plays for the New York Jets. We know that the Jets are in a bad situation, but he has the most talent in that backfield now that Le'Veon Bell plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I believe that eventually Frank Gore probably is going to either get hurt, retire out, or Ryan's going to see more snaps. And let's say that something crazy were to happen and Adam Gase were to get fired, Ryan would probably see a major uptick in his carries. So definitely think you should give him a chance, have him on your bench just in case he were to break out later in the year.
Well, there you guys have it. Those are some really good running back options. So let's go on ahead and look into the world of wide receivers. Are there any wide receivers that you're considering good enough to stream this week?
Yeah, absolutely. So one is Mike Williams, and again, I keep talking about the Chargers players, but there's a lot that are really good, have high upside, and are still available on most waiver wires, or at least on ESPN. So Mike Williams, he's a wide receiver. He's a super athletic, downfield threat. So he has huge big play potential. He went off a couple of weeks ago in a game against the Saints, and I think he could do the same this week. So definitely could exploit the matchup he has this week. You should definitely add him. If you're not able to get him, I like Travis Fulgham a lot. Now, he's had 2 very solid weeks in a row. He's seen double-digit targets, and he's becoming one of the Eagles' most consistent passing options. So you should definitely add Travis Fulgham if he's available in your league. Now, Keelan Cole plays for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's a good receiver as well to give a shot. And he could be someone that really just proves to be a valuable option when bye weeks really start hitting. We're kind of in the middle of them right now, but things are going to get pretty thin. We're going to have to plug and play some players, and Keelan Cole could be a valuable one to have. As well as Tim Patrick, a receiver for the Denver Broncos. Now, he has real potential to shine now that Drew Lock is back from injury and is in command of the Denver Broncos offense. I think Tim Patrick has good things ahead of him. Now, a really good and solid option I like a lot is Hunter Renfrow, plays for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, he's their slot receiver, so generally speaking, he sees the most targets of their receivers. So he's definitely someone that should be given a shot if you're really desperate or maybe you're in a deeper league. He's someone that you could start as a flex or a wide receiver 3 if you need him. And then a deeper option I like a lot is Brandon Ayuk for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, he has really flashed in a couple of big moments this year, and I think he'll continue to do so as the year goes on. He's going to keep developing, and he could be a really explosive weapon for that 49ers offense, especially if that offense starts to return to form that it was at last year.
And finally, do you have any tight ends for us?
Yeah, just to...
Finally, for the offensive players. Sorry,
No.
I should have clarified. Finally, for the offensive players, we still have defense. Just you wait.
Yeah, of course. There's not a lot of tight ends out there. It's really bleak for tight ends currently. But Darren Fells is one that you could give a shot. He had a really solid week 6. And it seems like since Houston has fired coach Bill O'Brien, their offense has really started to open up. They look a lot better. So I think that you could give Fells a shot. He could become a solid tight end down the road. And then also Trey Burton for the Indianapolis Colts. He had a really good week this past week. He was the Colts' favorite tight end. I mean, we have to remember that there's also Mo Alley Cox is there, Jack Doyle is there. So there's a lot of competition for tight end targets in that offense, but he seems to be one that is worthy of an ad in a much deeper league.
And what defenses should we be looking to stream this week?
So the Chargers, again, they face a very favorable matchup against the Jaguars. And while I do think that the Jaguars are going to put up plenty of points, the Chargers are still worthy of a defensive stream just because the Jaguars turn the ball over a ton. They make a lot of negative plays, which is good things for our defenses. So definitely give the Chargers a chance if they're available to pick up and play in your league. And then also the Eagles. They should be available in most leagues, but they face the Giants offense in Week 7. The Giants turn over the ball a ton, and I think that the Eagles should be able to capitalize and force quite a few turnovers and get a couple of sacks as well, which would result in a lot of defensive points.
Okay, guys, so that is our waiver wire video. Thank you to our very own Caleb over there. We're going to go ahead and say goodbye to him, so I'm going to throw a recap up. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for league winning information. I'm telling you guys, he has totally changed my wins and losses ratios since I've started listening to his advice. If you have any other questions, please ask him on here, ask him on our Twitter, on our Facebook. We have it all. And with that, my name is Jaden. This is Fantasy Tomorrow, and we are here to give you the information to learn today and win tomorrow. See you guys next week. Bye.